Have you ever scrolled through Instagram, seeing those perfect, cozy farmhouse fall scenes and thought, I wish my home could look like that? You're not alone. It feels like a fantasy, right? But what if I told you that the secret to Joanna Gaines' iconic Magnolia style isn't about spending a fortune at high-end stores? It's about finding hidden gems and giving them new life. Today, we're unlocking the secrets of creating a fall-inspired vintage farmhouse look, transforming your space from dull to darling. We're going to show you how to hunt for treasures and weave them into a warm, inviting home that feels both timeless and perfectly you. Get ready, because your dream fall home is just a few thrifting trips away. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to NIFA Vintage, and drop a comment below sharing your favorite fall decor item. The magic of the Magnolia farmhouse style, especially in the fall, lies in its ability to feel both grand and incredibly cozy. It's a delicate balance of rustic and refined. We're talking about a foundation of natural textures, weathered wood, distressed metals, and soft, woven fabrics. Think reclaimed barn doors, exposed beams, and a color palette that mirrors the changing season, warm whites, deep greens, and earthy browns. This style isn't about being perfectly polished, it's about embracing imperfections and telling a story. It's the art of layering, where each piece feels thoughtfully placed, creating a welcoming atmosphere that beckons you to stay a while. It's the perfect canvas for your fall vintage touches. One of the easiest and most affordable ways to bring that cozy, vintage feel into your home is through textiles. Don't overlook the fabric section at your local thrift store. Look for chunky knit blankets, worn linen tablecloths, and burlap runners. These pieces, with their natural fibers and imperfect textures, are the secret to creating a layered look. Imagine a vintage wool throw draped over a chair, or a rustic burlap table runner accented with small pumpkins. These aren't just decorations, they're tactile elements that make your home feel lived in and loved. They add warmth and depth, instantly transforming a sterile space into a sanctuary. Gallery walls are a staple in the Magnolia style, and they're the perfect place to showcase your thrifted finds. Instead of buying new, scour flea markets for vintage mirrors with ornate frames, old botanical prints, or even empty, distressed wooden frames. The key is to mix and match sizes, shapes, and textures to create a cohesive yet eclectic display. This is where your personal story comes to life. Arrange these pieces on a wall in your living room or a hallway, creating a focal point that draws the eye. It's an artful way to fill a large wall without a huge budget, giving your home a sense of history and character. It's often the little things that make the biggest difference. While you're thrifting, keep an eye out for small vintage trinkets that can be scattered throughout your home. Think old brass candlesticks, small ceramic pitchers, or antique glass bottles. These items, placed on a mantelpiece, a bookshelf, or a side table, add an instant dose of character and warmth. Group them in odd numbers for a more visually appealing arrangement. These little treasures don't just fill space, they add a layer of history and personality that mass-produced decor simply can't replicate. The kitchen is the heart of the home, and in the Magnolia style, it's all about rustic charm and practical beauty. Look for vintage stoneware bowls, wooden cutting boards with beautiful grain, and enamelware pitchers. These pieces aren't just for show, they can be used and loved every day. Imagine a collection of mismatched ceramic mugs on an open shelf, or a vintage scale on your countertop, holding a few colorful gourds. These simple additions bring a sense of nostalgia and homeliness to a kitchen, making it a truly inviting space for cooking and gathering. Joanna Gaines' style is heavily influenced by nature, and fall is the perfect time to bring the outdoors in. This is one of the easiest and most beautiful ways to decorate. Head to your local farmer's market or even your own backyard. Gather branches with changing leaves, small pumpkins, acorns, and pine cones. Arrange them in a vintage pitcher or on a rustic tray. A simple branch can become a stunning centerpiece, and a handful of pine cones can add texture to a mantelpiece. This connection to the natural world is what makes a home feel alive and in tune with the season. Fall is the season of slowing down and getting cozy. What better way to embrace this than by creating a dedicated reading nook? Find a comfortable armchair, perhaps a thrifted one you can reupholster, and pair it with a small side table. Layer it with a chunky knit blanket and a few pillows in earthy tones. A vintage floor lamp with a warm glow will complete the look. This isn't just a corner, it's an invitation to relax and unwind. It's a personal sanctuary where you can enjoy a cup of tea and a good book, surrounded by the warmth of your vintage finds. Lighting is everything when it comes to creating a cozy atmosphere. The right lighting can transform a space from ordinary to magical. Search for vintage-inspired lamps with warm-toned bulbs. Look for pieces with interesting bases, like a rustic wood lamp or one with a simple metal frame. You can also find vintage chandeliers or pendants that can be a stunning focal point. The goal is to layer your lighting, using a mix of overhead, task, and accent lights to create pockets of warmth and intimacy throughout your home. It's all about creating that soft, inviting glow. Your entryway is the first impression your home makes, and it's the perfect place to set the tone for fall. Start with a vintage console table or a rustic bench. Decorate it with a large, antique mirror to reflect light and make the space feel bigger. Add a woven basket for shoes or blankets and top it with a few pumpkins and a simple floral arrangement. A vintage coat rack can be both functional and stylish. This is your chance to welcome guests and yourself with a warm, inviting glimpse into the cozy haven you've created. The true joy of vintage decor is the opportunity to make it your own. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty with some DIY projects. That old, chipped side table can be sanded down and given a fresh coat of paint. A vintage frame can be repainted and distressed to give it a new lease on life. Even something as simple as wrapping a few books in brown craft paper and tying them with twine can create a beautiful, cohesive look. These projects allow you to put your personal stamp on your decor, making each piece a unique expression of your style and creativity. A mantelpiece is often the centerpiece of a living room, and it's a prime spot for your fall decor. Start with a large, anchor piece, like a vintage mirror or a piece of art. Layer in some natural elements, a garland of fall leaves or eucalyptus, and some pumpkins of various sizes and colors. Add a few vintage candlesticks and some ceramic vases. The key is to create a balanced, asymmetrical arrangement. Mix heights and textures to keep the eye moving. This isn't just a decorative space, it's a canvas for your seasonal story, drawing everyone's gaze with its warmth. Setting a beautiful table for fall is about more than just food, it's about creating an experience. Use a vintage linen tablecloth or a burlap runner as your base. Layer in a collection of mismatched thrifted plates and bowls. Use brass candlesticks with tall taper candles to add a touch of elegance. Weave natural elements like small gourds, acorns, and pine cones throughout the centerpiece. It's about creating a warm, inviting scene for a gathering, where every element, from the plates to the decor, tells a part of your vintage story. Your bedroom should be the ultimate sanctuary, and fall is the perfect time to make it extra cozy. Start by layering your bed with different textures. Think a soft, linen duvet cover, a chunky knit blanket at the foot of the bed, and a few velvet or burlap pillows. Look for vintage-inspired patterns or simple, neutral tones. The goal is to create a space that feels like a warm hug. It's not just about aesthetics, it's about making your space so comfortable and inviting that you can't wait to retreat there at the end of the day. Open shelving is a hallmark of the Magnolia style, and it's a fantastic way to display your beautiful vintage finds. In the kitchen, use open shelves to show off your collection of ceramic mugs and stoneware plates. In the living room, a vintage hutch or bookshelf can display old books, small trinkets, and framed photos. The key is to arrange items in a way that feels curated and intentional, not cluttered. Mix different heights and textures to create visual interest. This transforms your storage into a beautiful, personalized display. Decorating isn't just about what you see, it's also about what you smell. The right scent can instantly evoke the feeling of fall. Think about the aroma of cinnamon, pumpkin spice, or a woodsy pine. You can achieve this with candles, diffusers with essential oils, or by making your own stovetop potpourri with dried orange slices, cinnamon sticks, and cloves. This simple addition makes your home feel truly immersive and complete, engaging all the senses in creating that perfect cozy fall atmosphere. It's the final, and perhaps most powerful, touch. A wreath on your front door is a simple yet impactful way to welcome the new season. Instead of buying a mass-produced wreath, get creative. Use a grapevine wreath form and embellish it with natural elements you've gathered yourself: dried leaves, small pumpkins, pine cones, and burlap ribbon. You can also use a vintage frame or an old metal bucket as a unique base. A DIY wreath not only saves money but also adds a personal, handmade touch that sets your home apart and beautifully signals the beginning of fall. Don't be afraid of a piece of furniture that looks a little rough around the edges. That beat-up dresser or wobbly chair might be the perfect project. With a little sanding, a coat of chalk paint, and some new hardware, you can completely transform it. Repurposing old furniture is not only sustainable but also a fantastic way to get a high-end look for a fraction of the price. These pieces often have a quality and character that modern furniture lacks, and they become a conversation starter, carrying a history that's uniquely your own. Beyond just lamps, think about other sources of light. Candles, especially pillar candles in various sizes, can be placed on a tray or a mantelpiece. Use fairy lights or string lights to add a magical, whimsical glow to a bookshelf or a headboard. These small, scattered lights create a cozy, intimate ambience that's perfect for a fall evening. It's all about creating pools of warm light that make your home feel like a comforting, inviting haven, drawing you deeper into its cozy embrace. Don't forget to extend your fall decor to your outdoor spaces. Your porch or patio can become an extension of your cozy home. Place a vintage wooden bench with a chunky knit blanket and some pillows. Arrange an assortment of pumpkins, gourds, and potted mums. Add a few lanterns with battery-operated candles to create a warm glow in the evening. This creates a welcoming transition from the outside world into your home and allows you to enjoy the crisp fall air in a beautiful, styled setting. A key tenet of the Magnolia style is embracing imperfection, the Japanese concept of Wabi-Sabi. It's about finding beauty in the natural flaws and transience of things. That chipped ceramic bowl, the faded patina on a wooden frame, or the frayed edges of a vintage blanket aren't flaws, they're stories. They show that something has been loved and used. This mindset frees you from the pressure of perfection and allows you to create a home that feels authentic, lived in, and full of character. It's about celebrating the unique beauty in every vintage piece. Ultimately, creating a beautiful home isn't about following a strict set of rules. It's about styling with intention. Take a step back and look at your space. What story do you want to tell? How do you want your home to feel? Each vintage piece you bring in should serve a purpose, whether it's functional or simply brings you joy. It's about being a curator of your own life and surroundings, creating a space that is a true reflection of you and the things you love. Your home should be your sanctuary, your canvas, and your story. So there you have it, the ultimate guide to creating a cozy, vintage farmhouse fall look inspired by the queen herself, Joanna Gaines. We've unlocked the secrets to thrifting, styling, and bringing a touch of Magnolia magic into your own home, without the hefty price tag. Remember, it's not about being perfect, but about being personal and authentic. Each piece you find and each detail you add contributes to a home that feels warm, inviting, and uniquely yours. Now it's your turn. Go out there and start your thrifting adventure. I can't wait to see what treasures you find. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more vintage inspiration, and share your favorite fall decor tips in the comments below. See you in the next one. Pause 5.00s